Help us, man.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me. Gray skies overhead just isn't looking likely, but I try to do the right thing like Spike Lee, and I talk to God, the one and almighty. Lord, please have mercy on me.
Have mercy on me. Yeah.
Lord, please have mercy on me.
Have mercy on me.
Have mercy on
Man, this
me.
shit ain't no joke, man. This shit ain't no joke. Like the boy cried wolf, I ain't blowing no smoke. You don't gotta look far to see it ain't no hope in this fucked up world. I'm just trying to stay afloat. I grew up in the ghetto in the middle of the streets, H-E-L-L, the belly of the beast. Thanksgiving came around, I wasn't having no feast when the landlord talking about breaking out lease. Goddamn, what's next? My girl broke it with your boy and she did it in the text that if I couldn't have nothing that I could have love besides love for the money and selling these drugs. Sometimes it seems like it's the only way out, but every day I'm getting older and it's getting played out. Can't end up in the pen trying to find a way out. Lord forgive me for my sins, for my heart gave out. My dad died, biggest loss I ever had to take. He a big part of the reason I'm the man I am today. And moving on was a move I wasn't trying to make, but I got sons now, so I gotta lead them out straight. And even though success is looking unlikely, I stay mighty and pray nightly and remain doing the right thing like Spike Lee, which is hard in this life for a nigga like me. All my life I had to fight like my name's Sophia. Always had heart and in my heart was no fear. Boy, I stayed in some trouble always stayed near. When you black in America, that's all you cold here, I can't lie. Some days I want to break down and cry for me and my people that's fighting to stay alive. Cause living ain't living when you living to survive. Guess we living in hell till the heavens arrive. Nah, I mean,
What it's like for a nigga like me.
like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me. Gray skies overhead just isn't looking likely, but I try to do the right thing like Spike Lee, and I talk to God, the one and almighty. Lord, please have mercy on me.
Have mercy on me. Yeah.
Lord, please have mercy on me.
Have mercy on me.
Have mercy on me. What it's like in this life for a nigga like me. Every day I gotta fight my demons. Wake up, thank God I'm breathing. Cause all nightmares, America's dreaming. Trying to find a way to make it while surrounded by heathens. No stress long as I got a coat and I'm eating. I'm blessed and I know the Most High's the reason. But my heart's bleeding through my sleeve is seeping. For all the things that I've been peeping. Type of shit make you say fuck it and sleeping. Cause while you was sleeping during the evening, for brothers got gunned down over the weekend. Stretched out in the streets left leaking. Laid out white sheet, mom's grieving. All lives gotta have more meaning than another nigga dead in the paper I'm reading. Baby mama bitching every time that you're speaking. Talking like she gonna take the kids as she's leaving. How we go from kids to ending up in the deep end. Sink or swim, lose or win, saint or sin. Where does the change begin? And when does the bullshit end? Cause I wake up in the morning, gotta do it again. Go to sleep, go to work and just do it again. Damn. Can't pretend, cause when you stand out, it's hard to blend. And what I stand for, don't fold the bend. Cause I heard real folks still got too many friends. Cause when you speak the truth, then you tend to offend. So, while I'm gripping this pen, Lord, please have mercy on me. Amen.
It's time for my people to come together and rise up. The only way we gonna take our royalty back, man, is if we do just that, man. Take it back. Kwame Yashala, nigga. Time for us to rise out of our oppression. A wise man told me each one teach one. So I need you to reach out to your brothers and sisters and teach them, man. There's no reason we should still be getting hung from trees in this day and age, man. Lord, please have mercy on me.
Any man give his life for Yahweh Shai, Mashiach, and Christ, and fall up under that UPK banner. It's my brother and my blood, and I will die and kill for him if necessary. Go to ground, 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 go to ground. It's all about that warfare, boy. Give ground, give ground, back up, give ground, give ground, back up, give ground, give ground. It's all about that warfare, boy. Take ground, 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 take ground. My soldiers take ground till them stand down. Take ground, take ground, take ground, take ground, take ground, take ground, take ground. My soldiers take ground till them stand down. Take ground, take ground, take ground. Now this ain't no movement, this a takedown. We will not be moved or intimidated. losses with no consequence. But you will pay daily. You should've used your common sense. My zeal lit, that means you could never prevail. Hey, with a true sin, hey, with warriors dwell. Be wise with the weapons, cause I promise. My nine just like my wife, she concealed, she modest. I know two things, a robber will not prosper. And any man harm me and my aunt gon' meet the doc. Cause this life is warfare, it's not an easy walk. Been watching my people die so you can miss me with that love talk. My U.P.K soldiers, any man try to cross your path, make him regret it. What that means? Fall on his ass. Comparing me to you really ain't no contest. Long live one West. Say what? Long live one West. This for those who thinking we ain't ready for. Tell them back up. I'm about to drop something heavy for. Go to grip, 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 go to grip. It's all about that warfare, boy. Give grip, give grip, back up, give grip, give grip, back up, give grip, give grip. It's all about that warfare, boy. Take grip, 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 take grip. My soldiers take grip till I'm stand down. Take grip, take grip, take grip, take grip, take grip, take grip, take grip. My soldiers take grip till I'm stand down.
One West till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. One West till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. They ain't scaring me. Rip the soul out of Pharisee. Speaking heresy and get you fucked up apparently. It's like they daring me. I said chill, they ain't hearing me. They ain't listening. Every bar nitroglycerin. Hit your heart, bring it back to start, make you live again. Get them dividends so we start getting ignorant. I be on that soldier shit. I told you shit phenomenal. Nah, but he a domino. So what you suckers trying to do? Rhyming comical. Guess it's funny until I'm bombing you. Bring apocalypse to them pussy niggas that's popping shit. Team of all-stars, I coach them up like I'm Popovich. Fuck the politics and the lobbyists and apologists. They vagina, so we gon' check them like gynecologists. It's kinda obvious how the situation is ominous. The way I vomit this and regurgitate for the audience. They start applauding this cause the competition is fraudulent. From the era where niggas smoke you up like a parliament. The flow been stupid, shit has gotten retarded since all the dominance. One West rising to prominent. Cause I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. They want a nigga quiet, mute my maneuvers, but I ride like I got Groupon for Uber. Rhymes hard like they've been viewed by Medusa. 9 milli Luger, 17 in the Ruger. Only need a few to sit up in your medulla. Obligata for the regatta, niggas wildin', they win every dollar. They riding by black Impalas, let the semi holler. The showstopper been this proper since the teeny bopper. But now I'm going off Patron and premium of vodka. I put extensions on the Glock, modify the chopper. The war heavy, war ready, and that's worth the mama. No marijuana, say I got the loudest silence on it. When I'm up on it, ain't no rapper do it like I do it. A lot of spitties and writers, but when they eat on, none of them can get to the fire around with me. And I had them niggas feel like a tire, down the deep. And I'm still dope as a piper. Every bar burn hard like a spoon with a lighter. Fuel igniter, I'm winning coming through with the title because U.P.K. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me.
Test 1 2 2 2 2. 2. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. The Lord said, confession good for the soul. So right now,
all I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made provoked the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time and I was just a stranger. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made provoked the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time and I was just a stranger. All I wanted was to be a gangster. And shot call to be known with them niggas letting shots off. Either that or the right hand to the top dog. Funny how we see vanity, not the lives lost. Can't be focused on the life that's hopeless. Out there pumping, not knowing the Lord will kill you for that hocus pocus. Used to roll with niggas that cook dope with weaponry. Same ones claim they love you. I had no life in jeopardy. And I know my mother wants success for me. But that G should take a girl straight to ecstasy. Remember running with bruh, even though we did the wrong thing. My life would've been a lot different if I fell up under Rob's wing. Was too sincere for a wicked game. Shame the Lord's name. Now we afflicted with pain. All I ever wanted was to be respected by stand-up niggas. Not knowing that them handcuffs custom made the face. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made provoked the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time and I was just a stranger. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made provoked the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time and I was just a stranger. All I wanted was to be a gangster. I ain't lying, I was close to dying. Knew I wanted to live, but I wasn't trying. I was defiant, not knowing that this ain't how we live. This just how they design it. Cause when you in them streets, you get more endemic. They don't tell you gonna be on papers and on restrictions. My father said a hard head to make a soft ass. I didn't care, I wanted fear when I walked past. In a place where a black man's blood is cheap. I thank the Lord for the day I was on Lake Street. Pissing in a cup, back and forth to court, from the DC school. I swear it felt like I cried on that fucking porch. The Lord said, my sheep, they ain't hear my voice. Asked me why I'm UPK, I told them I ain't have a choice. They said God ain't 50-50 and what's gonna come to pass. The Lord called me out the world and that's not really fair. All I wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made provoked the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time and I was just a stranger. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made provoked the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time and I was just a stranger. Go ahead. All I wanted was to be a gangster. I.S.U.P.K until it hit the fan. I want power and a throne, nigga, fuck them grams. All I wanted was to be a gangster, but I was real as a righteous man. And now got the upper hand, gotta promote this brand. Correct whole multitudes until they all understand. If I can't get that crown, Lord, then put me in the hands of someone more mighty, make me this hit man. Reminiscing on the pain that was felt. Shit, I was in the jail. Shit, I needed help. But Twan was locked up in the judge put man on the shelf. Had me crying cause it felt like I was left by myself. All I wanted was to impress niggas with my grinding. Now I ain't trying to prove shit to nobody but Muhammad. Cause most these niggas lie, pump smoke. One time for the most high, he made me a cutthroat. Cause all I ever wanted was to smash my opponents. Stacking cash, not knowing it wouldn't last. Then God, I hope you accept my atonement. Cause all I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was a gangster. Decisions that I made before the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time and I was just a stranger. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster.
contradiction. Decisions that I made were broken Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time and I was just a stranger. All I wanted was to be a nigga.
Barak, Yahweh Shimmy Al-Shah,
Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatham. Yahweh Shema Alatham Ba'ashem Yahshua to the sisters. What's going on, brothers? All right. Of course, you know, today is one of the most, another disgusting holiday that our people will always, try to feel that they are American. You know what I mean? Is the voice okay or what?
You swap, sir.
Okay. But anyway, a lot of kids over this holiday would get their fingers blown off. Brothers would get shot. Brothers would be outside firing their weapons just like on New Year's. You know, it's actually a silly holiday for blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians.
Right.
You know what I mean? I've always hated this holiday. I'm not gonna. As a kid, I didn't really care about it because I saw it was a waste to me as a kid. You know, back when I was a kid, firecrackers was like, I think 15 cents, 20 cents. And as a kid, back in the 70s, $1 was a whole lot. And I felt like setting off fireworks, man, I'm broke in 10 minutes. So I just couldn't get with that. And then later on, as an adult, I started to wonder, why should we celebrate the 4th of July if we supposedly didn't get freed until 1865?
Right.
You know, 1860, what is it, 63 when they signed it? You know? So let me go into a little bit in the scriptures. Give me what is it, Proverbs chapter 3, 31.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 3 and verse 31.
Is that envy thy oppressor? Go ahead, brother.
Envy thou not the oppressor.
We ain't supposed to envy this white man because he's of his freedom, his money, his wealth, his peace, his joy, his woman, his holidays. Go ahead.
And choose none of his ways.
And choose none of his ways. We're not supposed to be celebrating this holiday, man. Calling my phone now, and I don't even. And I'm like, yo, listen, I've been in the truth 20 years, and you still believe that I'm going to celebrate some BS? Get out. You know. And the only reason why the slaves did it was because it was a day off from work. You know what I mean? Like as a slave, you should just go ahead. This is another day. You at home, you chilling, you getting ready to go do your slavery for tomorrow. Let the white man enjoy his holiday. You ain't free. You have no reason to be celebrating his Independence Day because he's the one oppressing you to keep his independence.
Right.
All right. Now give me Daniel's chapter 7, verse 1. Here it is in a nutshell. Matter of fact, give me that first article that I sent y'all. Wikipedia.
Okay. It's loaded, sir.
And this is what was going on. This is what's going on in the 1700s with the Revolutionary War. Slaves was picking and choosing, and some slaves, their masters would hand them over to whatever army that they would support. All right, go ahead.
Okay. This is from Wikipedia. African Americans in the Revolutionary War. Many African Americans fled to the British Army under Lord Cornwallis.
Right, they ran to the British because they thought that they would get freedom. Go ahead.
That he wrote, they caused a most serious distress to us. By liberating slaves of revolting colonists, Cornwallis hindered the Southern economy. These refugees contributed significantly to the British, however, as soldiers, laborers, and guides in the Southern campaign.
Right, but they're not free. They soldiers. Go ahead.
Cornwallis
Go ahead.
Cornwallis declined to return slaves who served his forces unless they are willing to go with the owners who claimed them. Following the siege of Yorktown, however, General Washington issued an order for all Negroes or mulattoes fighting for the British to be held until they could be returned to their former owners.
Right. So when the British left, they only took a certain amount of slaves. And when the British took them, they took them to the islands, to the West Indies. They ended up in Jamaica. And of course, we all know that the Jamaicans was in slavery in the 1700s under the British. Okay? Now give me Daniel chapter 7, verse 1. The entire day of the 4th of July is nonsense, man. It's a day that we got oppressed. The Indians got their land taken. And all really what it is that the so-called white man defeated the enemies that was on this land, on the Indians' land. Because remember, it was nothing but the independence for 13 colonies. But they ended up getting 50 states and Puerto Rico.
Right.
Lottie, sir, the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Amen.
God. All right, go ahead, brother.
Okay. This book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 1. In the first year of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream and visions of his head upon his bed. Then he wrote the dream and told the sum of the matters. Verse 2. Daniel spake and said, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, the four winds of the heaven strove upon the great sea.
Right.
Verse 3. And four great beasts came up from the sea, diverse one from another.
They were different, talking about these nations. Go ahead.
Okay. Verse 4. The first was like a lion and had eagle's wings.
Now remind you, Daniel is in Babylon. He's in captivity, which we are in captivity. But go ahead, he's talking about the Assyrian Empire. Go ahead.
I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked, and it were lifted up from the earth.
Right, meaning this, the Assyrian Empire, they rose. They got so powerful that they was looked at as being unstoppable as a god. They was lifted up until the wings got plucked. Go ahead.
And made stand upon the feet as a man.
Right, it was made to stand now. It got lowered. And now he had to stand as a man. Go ahead.
And a man's heart was given to it.
Right. Everybody stopped being scared of the Assyrian Empire. All right? That's how Babylon rose up. Go ahead.
Okay. Verse 5. And behold, another beast, a second, like to a bear, and it raised up itself on one side.
Right.
And it had 3 ribs in the mouth of it, between the teeth of it.
Right. It rose up on one side, meaning the other side was another part of the country, which is the Persians and the Medes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
And they said thus unto it, arise, devour much flesh.
That's when you get Esther. She's up in the Persian Empire. They rose real strong and powerful. They freed Israel. I shouldn't say they freed. The Lord used the Persian Empire to free the Israelites, the so-called 3 tribes out of Judah. Out of Babylon. And we was able to go back, which is the time of Ezra and Nehemiah. Read on.
Verse 6. After this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl.
Right, talking about Alexander the Great, the Greek Empire, the Grecian Empire. Go ahead.
The beast had also 4 heads, and dominion was given to it.
Those was those 4 generals that Alexander left the empire to, and they split it up with Ptolemy. There's a few more. What was the other one, Marah? Antiochus. There's 2 more other generals.
Not General Pompey. Was he one of them?
La. That's a La. It was another one. Yeah, it's 2 more. The other one was the one that took control over Antioch, parts of nowadays called Turkey. It was divided up. And he was the 3rd one. Then there was another one that ruled Epiphany. Can't remember them generals' names. But they all recorded in the Bible. Salaki for that. But go ahead.
So like I said, I just looked it up on Google. Was it Cassander and Seleucus?
So right. There you go. The Sayus. Right. Khan. The water.
And the bar, sir. This is the book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 7. After this, I saw in the night visions, and behold, a 4th beast, dreadful and terrible.
Right. And this is that 4th beast that's coming up, which is the Edomite Empire. Go ahead. Well, the Romans. Go ahead.
And strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth, and it devoured and brake in pieces.
Right. That iron is the metal that has been using, add with steel and making swords and battery rams and tanks and ships, and all right. That's what it represents.
Okay.
They went devouring, causing war, conquering, and they devoured much.
Okay. And stamped the residue with the feet of it, and it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns.
Right. And those are the European nations. Go ahead.
Verse 8. I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn.
Right. It's saying, he said, I seen 10, but they came up this one little horn. That one little horn is America. It started off real small. Okay. Go ahead. Read on.
Before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots.
America plucked them 3 horns up. That's when America came to America, and America became a country of its own And once it defeated the British, which is one horn, the other two horns is when they had the Spanish American Indian War and the French and Indian War. America uprooted them, and that's why they celebrate today the so-called 4th of July. Because one of those horns, America uprooted, which was England. But it later uprooted the rest of them. All right. Keep reading.
And behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of man.
Which is this. America uses his spy technology, his certain agencies, the CIA, the FBI, undercover detectives and all that. The satellites. You know what I mean? And let me tell you something else what he uses. And this is for people in the world. He uses your children. He uses your woman. Because a child is gonna come back in school and say, my father said homosexuality is wrong. It's wrong to celebrate Christmas. And now the teacher, anything that the teacher see that's happening that don't seem right, out of envy and anger, they'll report you to some sort of authority, social service, child protective services. Like that teacher have it out for you, or out for you and your kid, but they use your children to be the spies in the household now. You tell your son that you don't want him to be no homosexual. He can report he can report you to his teacher. Say, I'm being abused. You can't do nothing. Can't do anything but stand on what you believe on. But in most cases, like some of my brother, he allowed his goddamn daughter to prance around looking like a goddamn boy. Man, it's one of the most disgusting, heartfelt thing I ever saw in my life. That finally there's a lesbian in my damn family, somebody gay. My entire family never had anybody. I know some of y'all already, but to me it was like damn. I talked about this story before, and the first thing, because I'm so much in the truth, the first thing she said when she came out of it was, "My uncle is going to hate me because I'm so much against it, and that I try to instill them some of the truth, even though my brother and his wife, they truly super American. They just niggas in the world. They love America. You know what I mean? They for sure celebrating 4th of July.
Sir.
Keep reading.
And a mouth speaking great things.
Right, a mouth speaking great things. America is a proud country. And they're going to go against God, saying it's okay to have an alternative lifestyle. You can eat what you want. A woman can do what she wants to not to her body, but to the baby that's growing inside her. Like I said before, ain't nobody stopping a woman from getting big breasts, getting butt implants, getting tattoos, putting fake eyelashes on. Ain't nobody stopping women from doing anything. She got so much power that she's like a judge, and she decides whether the baby gets death or life. Read on.
Verse 9.
And let me say this. That's the damn problem with all this independence garbage. We don't need to be independent. We need to learn how to follow rules. And that's for everybody, even the goddamn heathens. The heathens don't need no damn independence for sure. The white man, he need to be put in the goddamn cage.
Right.
Because he's like a retarded kid. He'll pollute the air. He'll pollute the water. He'll turn a man into a woman into a man. He'll have sex with animals. He'll lock the righteous up. And he'll go against God every time. Like you got a lot of black people now becoming black atheists, following the white man. You know what I mean?
Hey, sir.
Come on with it.
And just like the retarded kid, if you say something to him, he'll say, "Oh, you hurting me. You abusing me. You treating me bad. You gonna let me off the ground and you know things like that, sir."
Right. Exactly. You know what I mean? So that's the last thing that he need. But he ain't gonna celebrate this independence garbage much longer. It's gonna be a day when he gonna lose all that independence. Right. And we gonna be in control. And we gonna be free. And we gonna put everything in order. We're gonna make America, not America, we're gonna make the earth a paradise.
Right.
You know? Trump talking about making America great. We gonna make the earth great.
Right.
Go ahead and read, brother.
Okay. This is the book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit.
That's talking about that judgment. That's when he loses his independence, and he go into captivity. You know what I mean? Give me Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 5.
Okay.
Like the white man, he's such a monster. Like he get 13 colonies, and all of a sudden, he end up with 50 states. You know?
Right.
Here's how he got it. Here's how he gets to celebrate his Independence Day, his 4th of July. But my thing is, I don't understand how Negroes be celebrating that garbage. Like it don't even make sense. You just finished having a Juneteenth celebration. Your freedom, supposedly your freedom, didn't come into 1865? Like you like how quickly have you forgotten? Like that's just a month ago, 30 days, and you now celebrating the 4th of July. Negroes just love, Israelites just love the party. And then we partying for the wrong thing. You know, that's the problem with us, man. We're not taught. Like a lot of times I analyze black people. And the biggest thing with black people when you even mention something about God, a lot of times they always, like black people blame God. They blame God for the Africans starving or something. They blame God all the murder in the earth. They blame the God for starvation. I'm like, well, damn. Why would you even blame God and not blame the people that's doing it?
Right.
Like that's kind of silly. Like you gonna blame God for a child molester that molests you, but you won't blame, you know, black men and women for the wickedness that they're doing to you. Like God, like the earth been wicked since the very beginning.
Right.
And you gonna blame God and not man? The whole purpose God destroyed man off the face of the earth was because they were wicked and gave him a second shot and let it start all over again. Black people say, well, why would that happen? Why would this happen? I'm like, yo, Negro, somebody steal something from me, I'm not blaming God. I'm blaming that Negro that stole it.
Right.
People blame God because they don't really want to follow what's in this Bible. They want to throw away the whole entire Bible and say God don't exist. If God exists, why would he happen? So they're going to say God don't exist because here all this is going on, which is completely the opposite. We got to put this back in the right perspective. Man is wicked. We wicked. That's why all this is going on in the hood. Because we wicked. We ain't following what he said do.
Right.
Right.
And then black people, matter of fact, hold that scripture. Give me Jeremiah 16 verse 9.
Okay.
But hold that scripture.
This is the book of Jeremiah.
Because all the time when we out there, we go up against these holidays, man, and we tell them it's wicked, and we being wicked by following these holidays. Here's what actually happens. Read.
Okay. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 16, and verse 9. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, behold, I will cause to cease out of this place in your eyes.
Give me verse 10.
Verse 10, and it shall come to pass, when thou shalt shew this people all these words, and they shall say unto thee, wherefore hath the Lord pronounced all this great evil against us?
Right, like they want to know, well, why is the Lord saying that? Why is he pronouncing evil against us? We're not evil. We're not doing anything wrong. You know, especially with Christians, they always say God hates the sin but love the sinner. Nah, God is pronouncing evil against us, man. We don't.
So God, or what is our iniquity? Or what is our sin that we have committed against the Lord our God? Verse 11.
We don't.
Then shalt thou say unto them, because your fathers have forsaken me.
Right. And that's why all this is happening. That's why the Lord is pronouncing evil. We go and celebrate all these other holidays, the Juneteenth holiday, 4th of July, Thanksgiving. All these holidays is worthless, man. We spend money, we increase and build the economy, but we never fix our own economy, man. Like, how in the hell are you gonna spend $100 worth of fireworks and burn it in a few hours? It's ridiculous. You taking part in a celebration in a nation that's oppressing you. That's backwards as hell, man.
Right.
That's like somebody in prison celebrating the warden's birthday.
Right.
It's crazy. Celebrating the person that raped and robbed you. Meanwhile, you still being oppressed. I know brothers is waiting to go out and speak on it. You know.
And have walked after other gods, and have served them,
right?
And have worshipped.
These other gods is just the same as the Independence Day, man. You following everything of another nation. You worshiping their gods, their customs. Now give me Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 5.
This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2 and verse 5.
And here's how America actually got its independence. From what they did to the Native American Indians. That's how they got their independence. Because if the Native American Indians would have crushed them from the beginning, they wouldn't have this country, but the Lord was against the Native American Indians. So the Lord moved us to jealousy. Read on.
Right.
Right.
Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man.
His philosophy, that's the wine. We didn't drink it. His religions, his holidays, his 4th of July. Read on.
Neither keepeth at home.
and he never keepeth at home. Meaning he'll go and leave his place of residence and go conquer more land.
Right.
That's what he did in America, man. Did to America. That's how he got all of America. Right now, he all up in Ukraine. Read on.
Who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is
Right.
as
Wherever he go, he caused hell on earth.
right.
Everybody's in turmoil but him. We celebrate 4th of July, but he's straight in America. He got power, land, money. He do what he want to do. He do what he want to do when he want to do it. He'll go into another country and do what he want. He'll go into Mexico and disrespect the people in Mexico. He'll go in the islands and disrespect the people in the islands. He'll go to South America and have sex with little boys. He'll go to Africa and have sex with little children and steal all the natural resources. And this is the day that we're going to celebrate with him. All the evil that he done spread in the name of independence. You know how many times he done said we trying to free this country. We trying to let this country be an independent country. We trying to free them from Saddam Hussein. How many people had to die? How many people had to die in the Korean War? The Vietnam War.
Right.
Read on.
Kawakan. And is as death, and cannot be satisfied.
Right. He ain't satisfied. Go ahead.
But gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people.
Right. That's exactly what he does around the earth. And I'm talking about the so-called Edomites, but America in general. But all Edomites do it. All Edomites. The British, the French, the Spaniards, they all did it. Go ahead.
Okay. Verse 6. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his.
Right. Everybody know that he's the thief.
Right.
Everybody know.
Right.
It's a proverb. Now the proverb we say is the white man's the damn devil that the Bible speaks of. That's our proverb against him. Read on.
How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. Verse 7. Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them.
That's talk. Read that one more time. Let me break that down.
And thou shalt be for booties unto them.
Not the whole that scripture, but the water.
This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2 and verse 7. Shall they not rise up suddenly?
Shall they not rise up suddenly? Meaning this, the day gonna come in the future where those nations is gonna eventually rise up. And we're gonna rise up. The Lord gonna have us rise up against him also. Go ahead.
That shall bite thee.
And we're gonna bite him. Go ahead.
And awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them.
Right. And you're gonna be booty unto us. He gonna be now our spoils of war.
Right.
That's what booty is. Booty is spoils of war. Read on.
Verse 8. Because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee. Because
the same thing. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. You reap what you sow. Read on.
Because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land of the city,
Right. Go ahead.
and of all that dwell therein.
Right. We don't hate the white man because of his skin color. We
Right.
hate the white man for the crimes that he committed, the shedding of the blood and the stealing of the land. Read on, brother, once you get a chance.
Okay. Verse 9. Woe to him that coveteth an evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high.
Right. The so-called white man, he done covered everything in his country. And so now he get to celebrate it. Now he sets his nest on high. Meaning what? You can name everything that he satellites, from satellites to skyscrapers.
Right.
And he set them over us. Read on.
That he may be delivered from the power of evil. Verse 10.
Meaning no harm gonna come to him. All right? That's what he means, that he'll be delivered from evil coming to him. That's why he sets his net so high. You know.
Thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people, and hast sinned against thy soul. Verse 11.
Right.
For the stone shall cry out of the wall, and the beam out of the timber shall answer it.
Right. Meaning this, if we don't say it, even the timber gonna cry out. The trees will cry out.
Right.
The timber that's built, the house he built, will say that he done stole this house. He done stole this land. It'll cry out against his crimes.
Right. Verse 12. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, and establish a city by iniquity.
And that's how they established America. And here we are today, they celebrating their independence, of stealing land, of murdering the nations. Like the white man will murder his own people. That's how he got this land. He first murdered the Native American Indians, and then they started murdering each other.
Right.
That's all it is. The greed made they didn't have sense enough to actually divide America. You know?
Right.
Sir, if I may.
Come on with it.
The Bible also say he put forth his hands against such that be at peace with him. Like he came over here and that's all he do. He put forth his hands against the people that's at peace with him. Ain't nobody messing with him because his nest is so, high. How we gonna get with him?
Right.
So therefore, we just trying to make peace with him, but he's such a bully that he just can't help himself. He said, he loved bloodshed so much, like you brought out. He just can't help himself. He gotta take he gotta take North Korea or South Korea. He gotta take Japan. He took Russia. I mean, he scattered Japheth all over the place.
Yeah.
And then he scattered to, he went and took those places. He went to Hawaii. He went to Australia. He went to the Philippines. I mean, he can't help himself.
Right. And look, give me Obadiah. Exactly. Obadiah.
Okay.
Like you right, Marat. He'll scatter people and then scatter and take the land that they ran to get away from him, or he pushed them to. You right. He take that. You know what I mean? Like now the Native American Indians are what? They left on little reservations. Like that is like can you imagine being a Native American Indian and you living on a barren land? You know what I mean? I remember when GEN.YAHANNA taught a class years ago in DC, And he said they found out that when the Native American Indians got put in captivity or subjection, they were being like suicidal and went into a deep depression. And this is in the 1800s. And even today, they got one of the highest suicide rates. But they say it was like that because the Native American Indians were people that were, you know what I mean, they were open, you know, they were free to go and travel and do what they want to on their land, and they was hunters. You know what I mean? And once you put somebody like that in captivity, they get depressed. They start to drink more. You know what I mean? So
if I may, sir, because you just brought up about the Native American Indians, if I could,
come on with it.
It's so heavy because they flee to come to America, fleeing oppression from a heathen. The oppressor, he came over here, and started slaughtering them, pushed them on a reservation. And then years later, went and took that reservation, went and put a pipeline through it, sprayed them with water hoses in the winter. I mean, that was terrible.
Right. You know, there's an article, but there's some Native American Indians don't celebrate, of course, 4th of July. But you got to really look at, like the Native American Indians, they like, yo, you wiped our land out, put us on reservation, and then wiped out our culture and our language. You know what I mean? Like he murdered and beat them to stop following their culture,
right?
Their customs, their language. You know what I mean? They'll turn the Native American Indians' tongue damn near into an ancient tongue. So that's real heavy what you bringing out. Give me the Obadiah.
Okay. 1 and verse 10, sir. 1 and 1.
Now you can start at 1. I'm not gonna go to 10, but
okay. This is the book of Obadiah, chapter 1 and verse 1.
Nah, give me I think it's 3 or 4.
Oh, Kawakan. This is the book of Obadiah, chapter 1.
Start at 3 for me.
Kawakan. This is the book of Obadiah, chapter 1 and verse 3. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high.
Right.
That saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground?
Right. Go ahead.
Verse 4. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord.
Right. Go ahead. Keep reading, brother.
Verse 5.
And this is what me and Marab was just talking about. How he'll push a native of a land, take their land, push them further out, and then once they start to build that city up, they'll go and take the land that they pushed the natives to.
Right.
And murder them. And the remaining people will be wound up working for them or having to serve them or be in a small located area where there's nothing on it, nothing to grow, where the people will have to depend on the so-called white man. That's what he do all the time.
Right.
Like he won't push you off of land and set you up so you can build your own. He'll come and get you and destroy that land so you have to depend on him. That's what happened in Tulsa, Oklahoma. The same exact thing. When they found out that they was millionaires and they was getting it. You know what I mean? They was building it and they had their own economy. And they flowing and they had things that the so-called white man didn't have. Read on.
This is the book of Obadiah, chapter 1 and verse 5. If these came to thee, if robbers by night,
If
how
these came to thee and robbers by night, go ahead.
how art thou cut off?
How
Would
are you cut off? How are you stopped? Go ahead.
would they not have stolen till they had enough?
Right. Like even a burglar, if he creeps in your house, he ain't gonna steal everything in your house. You know what I mean? He ain't gonna steal the food in your refrigerator, even if he can use it.
Right.
Lucky, sir, if I may.
Come on with it.
Even if he stole the food in the refrigerator, he's not gonna take the roaches.
Right.
The oppressor's stealing your mice. He like, damn, can I keep my own mice? At least
Right.
they mine.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. He want everything. Go ahead.
If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes?
Right. You see that? And because we had a law in Israel that we would let the roundabout areas of the farms, and you could come and pick it up. The poor people could come and they could glean the land. Whatever fall from the tree, they would be able to do it. And so the Lord is trying to explain to the people, not these people, Esau and the Edomites. He's letting them know before they even got to become the Romans, before they became the Greeks. He was like, yo, I want things brought out of Edom. Like the white man, he'll steal till there's nothing left. You know what I mean? He'll murder till there's nothing left.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like he, he's like a social.
Got him on God.
You know what I mean? Like he'll murder and murder and murder. He damn near want to go out in space to find the alien so he can murder.
Got him on God.
You know what I mean? All his movies is about murdering the aliens.
Got him on God.
Right.
But if I could, sir.
Come on with
Yeah,
it.
that's so heavy because he goes places with the intention to murder. Just like you what you brought out about outer space, like that's so heavy because he wasn't going there, just to say, oh well, if there's anybody here, let's be friends. He was going there. If there was anybody there that he felt as though he could get over on, he would have killed him. And he'd have brought him back and say, when we got there, this what happened, and they tried to hurt us. So now we gotta fight, forces in outer space. Like he ain't going there with like how you gonna go to somebody's house with the intention on hurting them if they if they answer the door the wrong way.
Right.
Like that's like, well, your job is a delivery man, so you deliver packages, but if somebody answers the door the wrong way, then this is my house now.
Right.
That's crazy.
Right.
Dude.
Right. And he's like a snake. He's so subtle. He'll start off friendly and making you feel sorry for him, like he did the Native American. You know what I mean? The whole time he come, like when he came to these countries and explored these countries, he came with a military. You know what I mean? Like his purpose was to conquer, to murder anything that go up against him. That was his whole purpose. So that's why they got a military space force out there in space. Like when he go for war.
Got one con.
You know what I mean?
If I could, one other thing that I found out recently about like houses and real estate was that somebody could put like a lien on your house if they like cut your grass or do something like say you go on vacation and they come past your house, and they cut the grass or something, they could put a lien on your house and foreclose on it, and you gotta go to court. It's like, how in the hell can you even step foot, and like that, like his laws is set up. I gotta see where that came from. Like he did that to our Gadite brothers. Like, I know that's your side of the street, but since I've been walking past, I seen it was a little dirty. I cleaned up. I want to be paid for it. You like, well, nobody asked you. I mean, that's all. and he can take you to court and do all types of stuff and get your house. It was on the news the other day that
Right.
people living in their house and their house getting stolen from them while they living in there. That's because Esau came up with that strategy. Like how would you even put that in your laws in your country?
Right.
I mean, come on, man.
Right.
It's set
You
up
know what I
for
mean?
a crazy psychopath to get over on people.
Right.
Justly.
Exactly. And really, that's trickery by lawsuit. That's supposed to be a crime. You can get a charge for that. You know what I mean? Like that's supposed to be trickery by lawsuit. I'm breaking up.
A lot.
Oh, all right. Well, we finished with that scripture.
Kalukan.
Okay. Give me Job verse 20.
Kalukan.
I tell you what. Matter of fact, give me Psalms 149 and 7. This is our Independence Day. This is what our Independence Day gonna really feel like.
You said Psalm 147, sir?
149.
Oh, 149. Kalukan.
Yeah. Verse, start at 7.
Kalukan. This is the book of Psalms, the 149 and verse 7. To execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people. Verse 8. To bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron.
Right. That's our independence. That's what we praying for. You know what I mean? That's what we waiting on, man. You know what I mean? We waiting on that day. And then we're going to put everything in the rightful order according to the Most High under Christ.
Right.
That's the Independence Day. I'm not looking to celebrate another man's independence. You know what I mean? Another nation's independence. I don't mind celebrating something that's good for one of my brothers. Of course, I'm happy for him. But I'd be damned if I'm going to celebrate the so-called oppressor's day of his independence. Meanwhile, I'm praying that he get destroyed.
Right.
That's my prayer. My prayer is that he get destroyed. I'm waiting on my Independence Day, man. You know what I mean? I'm waiting for the day. Give me Jeremiah 16 and I think it's 14.
Okay.
You know what I mean? These are the Independence Days, man. Our day gonna come. Like we ain't focusing on what might lie ahead of us as Black people and Latino people and Native American people in America, man. There's a day of justice, man.
If I may, sir.
Come on with it.
And what you brought out is so heavy because verse 6 said, "Let the high praises of God be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand." Like that's the spirit of a free man. Like it's so heavy because when I came to ISUPK, I learned that our people had Stockholm syndrome. And just like you said, so we just want to have fun. We are slaves that love the slave master that just want to have fun. The slave master picked our Independence Day, and he picked it in the middle of a gay celebration month. So he picked our Independence Day, put it in the gay celebration month, and what's so heavy is he did all that, and we celebrated on that day. We celebrated on the day that the slave master gave us, and the same people celebrating on that day is celebrating his independence. Which is so crazy.
Right.
The spirit of Christianity makes you that way. It makes you just a good slave. Makes you love your slave master and just want to be happy with him. You know that scripture I always think about in the Bible where it says, if you love your family, you're gonna get branded, by your brother, by your employer, and you're gonna stay there. You know what I mean? Like he hired you for a job, you built a family there, and you love it. you're gonna take the brand, and y'all brothers for life, man. Y'all there, and you're gonna stay there, and that's how we are with Esau. It's like we did that with him.
Right.
I don't count.
I'm laughing because you know what, Mariah, and as you was explaining that, I used to, on 4th of July, right? This is before I came to the truth because it didn't compete with me celebrating the, Independence Day. So I would call brothers. I said, "You old bicentennial ass niggas," and that's what made me when you said they take the brand. You know what I mean? And the only reason where I get it from is because Richard Pryor had an album out called Bicentennial Nigga. You know what I mean? And he did a skit about celebrating the 4th of July on the bicentennial year. You know what I mean? It was like you were Uncle, like he did a skit, but basically was saying you a happy nigga on the 4th of July. You were Uncle Tom nigga on the 4th of July, celebrating the 4th of July. So I would always call niggas that celebrate as bicentennial ass niggas. You know what I mean? So when you brought that up, that brought me back home, back in the days. What's that scripture you got,
Kokan, Jeremiah 16 and 14, sir.
Okay, come on with it.
This is the book of Jeremiah, the 16th and verse 14. Therefore, behold, the days cometh, saith the Lord, that it shall no more be said, the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt.
Right. Like this time around, the Lord let Jeremiah know to tell the people. It ain't going to be said that the Lord liveth that brought us up out of Egypt. You think Egypt was bad. You think I did a number on Egypt. You know what I mean? Like the Lord destroyed all the gods of Egypt. When you look at each plague, it represented one of those gods that they celebrate. When he turned that water into blood, it was to disrespect the gods of Egypt. Turned it night for 3 days. He destroyed Ra. When he killed all the animals and the animals, he killed, I think it's called Hathor. He was destroying their gods. Those 10 let them know that I'm God. I am that I am. I'm in charge. He's going to do the same thing here in America. And it's going to be the last time that he got to let everybody know who the hell is in charge. Read on.
Okay. Verse 15. But the Lord liveth that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north.
Right. Our Lord liveth. The Lord liveth that brought up the children up out of the land of the north. Talking about this land. Read on.
And from all the lands whither he had driven them, and I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers.
Read on. That's right. He's going to put us back in our land. But first, read on. This has to happen.
Verse 16. Behold, I will send for many fishers.
That's why brothers got to go to camp. You got to go out there and fish these brothers. Fish these sisters.
Right.
Read that part again.
Kawkan. Behold, I will send for many fishers, saith the Lord, and they shall fish them. And after will I send for many hunters.
Right. When he fished them, the Lord got that number. Like that, I don't know, they got that little Christian song, oh, when the saints come in, it always says, in that number, when the Lord get that set number of people, it's a wrap. It's a ball game. Now, Christ comes. And when Christ comes, we're going to go and hunt them where they hiding at. We're going to hunt all their government officials, and we're going to bind them with fetters of iron.
And they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill And
from every government, from every little government, from every little nation. Go ahead.
And out of the holes of the rocks.
And them holes of the rocks. Hager 54. The Senate, I don't know if you noticed that the Capitol got a subway under it, a separate subway. You know, fish them out. That's gonna be our Independence Day. All right.
God.
Now give me what's that? Damn. Getting old, Marah.
Sir.
I'm getting old. It was in my brain, man. Oh man.
Oh,
All right,
God.
just
That
give me.
happened to me, sir. Oh, God.
God. Okay. Then I don't feel too bad. Give me Job 20. No, give me the article. The one on Islam. Because everybody follows after this beast, man. Everybody have an excuse to celebrate the white man so-called holidays or feast days, holidays. Like every Negro uses an excuse to celebrate the 4th of July, to celebrate Christmas. For the so-called Pan-African, they used to have Kwanzaa.
Right.
All right.
This is the final call. Independence Day. What's your opinion on this article?
I want to skip down of why they celebrate it. You go ahead and skip down. You'll see why. It'll talk about Elijah Muhammad. But go ahead and read that part.
Whose independence? Since 1776, you, black man, have been worshiping the 4th of July along with the real author of the 4th of July, the white man, as a day of independence for themselves. It is the white slave master and his children who enjoy setting forth the 4th of July as a day of rejoicing over achieving this country's independence from any other foreign source.
Hey, I want you to look for. I want you to skip down and scroll a little bit, and when it goes into, I think Farad Muhammad. All right.
I think I found the part with Farad Muhammad, sir.
Come on with it.
Khan. But you are free now, and you do not need this for an excuse for your worship of the 4th of July. There is no further need for us to worship the gaining of the white man's independence. Let us take a look again at our own black independence and how it came on the same day of the 4th of July.
Read that clearer, brother.
Khan. Let us take a look again at our own black independence and how it came on this same day of the 4th of July.
Now here's their excuse for celebrating the 4th of July, the Nation of Islam. This is from the final call. Read on, brother.
At the coming of Allah, God, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad.
Stop. So now they replacing the white man holiday, and now they're going to celebrate the 4th of July and say, who came? Farad Muhammad. He was brought forth from Allah. So they still celebrating the 4th of July. But they acting like you ain't celebrating the so-called white man. 4th of July. That's the same thing with serving Baal, but calling it God in the Christian church.
Right.
The same exact thing. The worship of Baal is Christianity. And here it is, the Muslim is telling you, well, we're not going to celebrate the 4th of July. but we will celebrate the 4th of July in honor of my Allah bringing forth Wallace Farad Muhammad. Read on.
Like,
And
sir,
let me say one more thing. And y'all remember years ago when T.I. said this. He said, we're going to boycott this and that and that and that. But we're going to do it after the 4th of July. Like, how you going to boycott the white man in America, but you're going to wait until after the white man, you're going to celebrate the white man's 4th of July? Because here's really what it is. We the only ones that are going to speak against, that's going to speak against the 4th of July and tell the people to do away with the 4th of July. Everybody else is going to do everything and talk that black nonsense, that black protest, because they feel they can't get you to stop following the 4th of July. It ain't in their will or their power to even tell you to stop following. Because they figure if you tell black people to don't follow the 4th of July, see, I feel like they're not going to follow him. They're not going to follow the protest. Like, you got to go all the way with this thing. You got to be totally 100% against everything that America pushes.
Right.
Because what America pushes is our destruction.
Right.
Everything that they push is our destruction. It ain't nothing that America has for us to benefit black people, so-called Latino people, so-called Native American Indian people. Whatever America pushes, it's for America to be over top of us, to be in control over us. Now finish reading that article with Islam.
Okay.
The nation of Israel, a nation of Islam. Go ahead.
To whom praises are due forever on July 4th, 1930.
You see that? The nation of Islam flip-flopped it around so that because they feel people want to celebrate something. So instead of giving them the white man's holiday, let me give these black Muslims something so they won't just miss that holiday. The same thing with Kwanzaa. Black people feel, man, we got to give them something. We don't want to celebrate, the white man's Christian holiday. Well, let's make up Kwanzaa. So they made up something. And you still going against the Most High. You still sinning against the Most High. And you still look like a damn slave.
Right.
Whether you celebrate Kwanzaa or whatever, you still a slave. And you're a slave to the white man. Any more on that? That's it, right?
Okay.
All right. Give me Job chapter 20, verse 5.
Okay.
Because America always, they celebrate this Independence Day like they fought independence for everybody. Like they done made the world, they done freed the world and made the world free. You know what I mean? The fight against communists and all that. The fight against Islam. We're gonna spread democracy. They do that by killing them. Go ahead.
Well, wasn't Fard Muhammad, wasn't he a white man anyway? Like me?
Yeah, he was a white man.
Good night.
He was the one who taught Elijah Muhammad. You know what I mean?
If I could, sir, can I read from this article real quick?
Oh, come on with it.
Fard Muhammad. It was saying, this is what it says. It says, Fard's true identity, the FBI asserted, was far from the idealized image he had given the NOI. He first of all was neither from Mecca nor half black. Fard Jafar was actually a dark-complected, light or mixed white Asian man, originally from Oregon, Hawaii, or New Zealand, who had been living in Los Angeles since the 1910s, was direct husband and father, and was a small-time opium dealer. So the FBI did a thing on Far Muhammad. He's a damn white man, if I may,
Right.
or white Asian. And Elijah Muhammad said he was from Allah, meaning he was from God. But you still celebrating the white man's day on the white man's day. Still celebrating the white man on the white man's day, and you calling
Right.
him your God. It's
Right.
crazy.
Right. It's madness. You know what I mean? It's just madness. No matter how you look at it, man, it's like, yo, it's something that the white man knows. The white man knows this. He can control black people. You know what I mean?
Salaki, so you went out.
Oh, okay. Damn.
You say it again, sir?
Oh, okay. I said the white man know that he can control us because of our lust. You know what I mean? Just like, can you hear me?
Kind of one kind.
Okay. Yeah. The so-called white man, he can control us with our lust. Because we base all our decisions on our lust because we so far away from what the Lord wants that we don't have any guidance to, any strength to fight our lust. You know what I mean? Like everything about the Bible, and in order to follow the Bible, you got to start grow in discipline. You know what I mean? One of the first things you got to do is stop getting high. Or some people stop eating pork. You start to gradually build discipline up. We're not taught that any longer. You know what I mean? We taught to do whatever we want to do because America allows us that freedom. So what does America do? They make weed legal. They make weed independent. Like, it's freedom to get high. You know what I mean? Like they just recently started to tell people in DC that you don't need hard to get no mount to go buy marijuana. You know what I mean? That marijuana made that thing legal. That destroyed us. That totally that's wiping us out. Because everybody's getting high. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody having discipline to fight anything. Whatever they push on us, they push Black Lives Matter on us. We believe we doing something to fight against oppression, but we ain't really. Black Lives Matter is really not doing anything. They just go out in the street, protest, throw a couple of bottles, and then you might see them start twerking and dancing. You know what I mean? Like we guided by our lust. Whatever we feel we want. Each holiday of the so-called white man is about lust. It's about eating. It's about getting a gift. It's about receiving a gift. It's about a box of chocolate. It's about flowers. The American holidays or the heathen holidays, it ain't about giving something up so that you can suffer. Black people don't understand discipline and sacrifice.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you got to sacrifice some things. Go ahead, brother.
Okay. This is the book of Job, chapter 20, in verse 5. That the triumphing of the wicked is short.
Right. Meaning this, the so-called Edomites, they done ran, and it seemed like a long time, right? From the Greek Empire, the Roman Empire, all the way up to America. But the time gonna come 2,000 years from now and keep pushing, we're gonna look back at it and say they ran for a little bit. You know what I mean? It's relatively short. It seemed long to us because we in this captivity, but our kingdom is gonna last forever. So
Right.
just think 10,000 years we ruling. That's a long length of time, and it's still going to grow.
Right.
You know what I mean? So the triumph of the wicked is short. Read on.
Okay. And the joy of the hypocrite, but for a moment.
Right. And the joy of the hypocrite for a moment. And I'm using this scripture for us because we're hypocrites. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, how in the hell can you have a celebration for something that happened in 1865 and now and say that the white man was wrong, and then you go and celebrate something that you had nothing to do and they enslaved you? You were enslaved. There was a lot of so-called black soldiers in the Revolutionary War, and a lot of them was promised freedom, and a lot of them was sent back to slavery. George Washington, in particular, refused to free the slaves that were on his side for the Patriots. Like, now you risk your life, and all of a sudden, after the war, you thinking you're gonna get freedom, and George Washington, he made an order that you to go back into slavery and go back into your owner. Like, that's why when people talk about George Washington, you know what I mean? Like, it's ridiculous. You know what I mean? Black people always want to goddamn talk about how they had sex with slaves. Like, you know, man, like, what? Hold on. I'm back. Can you hear me?
Okay.
All right. You know what I mean? Like, you talk to niggas, yeah, Jefferson had sex with black slaves. Like, Negroes enjoy that garbage. You know what I mean? Like, what about the decree where blacks was fighting and was fighting in the Revolutionary War for the Patriots and had to go back to slavery? Don't nobody bring that out, but they'll bring out that George Washington was having sex with slaves. Don't nobody bring out about how dirty he was, that the so-called slaves or black people was fighting in that war, risking their lives and dying. And then once they got finished fighting the war, they had to go back into slavery. We don't mention that part about George Washington or Thomas Jefferson, but they'll tell you about sex with a slave woman. Our priority is that stuff, man. Go ahead, brother. That's why we're hypocrites.
Right.
See? That's why we're hypocrites celebrating this. Like, it's supposed to be a dishonor to us that the white man is holding an Independence Day. It's supposed to be a total disrespect, especially after last month. Like, to get me to work to follow, I'm gonna say, to worship the 4th of July. I got to be, you know what I mean, suffering from Stockholm.
Oh my God.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Read on, brother.
Verse 6. Though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach unto the clouds.
Right. Though his excellency mount up to the heavens and up to the clouds. You know what I mean? Like, he ruling. He got slaves following today. Slaves following his independence from his enemies. And we were slaves, and we fought that war as slaves. And was hoping that he would free us. But no, George Washington said, "Nah, nigga, you get back in the fields. You put that rifle and that sword down, and you get your ass back in the fields and continue picking the cotton." Read on.
Okay. Yet, verse 7, yet he shall perish forever.
I pray to
his
God.
own.
Pray to God real soon. But he will perish forever.
Right.
That's our end of this day. Read on.
Like his own dung.
Right. Read on.
They which have seen him shall say, where is he?
Right. The time gonna come in the future where you're gonna see the so-called white man in the museum like he do us.
Right.
You're gonna be like, yo, this is how they look. Yeah. He gonna have on a suit and tie, clean shaven, a briefcase. You know what I mean? We're gonna do it up. Then we're gonna show the redneck white man, all hairy, being in the woods. Then we're gonna show the white woman. You know what I mean? And we're gonna talk about it. Yeah,
Right.
man, we disobeyed the Most High. And they ruled over us for a minute, for a period of time, because we was wicked. And the Lord told us that he would put them over us, but we was hard-headed. We're gonna be in the museums explaining to him. You know what I mean? Then you're gonna see the cave-looking white man. But this is his natural habitat when he's left alone. Go ahead.
Verse 8, he shall fly away as a dream.
Because eventually, the so-called white man, you ain't gonna see him thousands of years in the future. He gonna slowly die off.
Right.
We're gonna build up. Slocky.
No, I'm saying if I may, sir.
Yeah, sure.
Kind of, I always think about that too. If I may, like, damn, I wonder what we're gonna do when it's like the last 5 Edomites on Earth. Like we probably gonna have them, in a little museum in the chains. And then I always think about, say, damn, imagine when they pass away, we probably gonna celebrate. Like they all have gone, they all have perished, and big old celebration. I always think of that, like, damn, what if we do that in the kingdom? Like, damn, the last of I.S.U.P.K is gone, and then you just celebrate.
Right, God. Yeah. And I know I don't know if you ever heard Gen.YAHANNA when he talk about, in the kingdom where he have his slaves underground. He said they gonna hear about a thing called the sun.
Sir, I agree. If I may, I don't want to see it either, Mike, in the kingdom. I don't want to see him. I want them and the Africans to be underground just working. Had the Chinese man beating them,
And listen. Salaki, that was the funniest times when I first heard Gen.YAHANNA say that. I'm on post, and the way he's really good at telling the story. And when he did it, some people were laughing and other blacks was mad as because he can make you visualize it. And they're gonna creep about and they're gonna be like, I heard there's this thing called the sun. Gen.YAHANNA said, I'm gonna give him a bag of beets to eat. Bird beets.
Oh my God. Larger, sir, chicken feathers and popcorn. That's all they give me. If they do something with it, look.
God. You know what I mean? Go ahead, brother. You can read. Go ahead.
Yea, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night.
Right. Okay. Anything you want to bring out, Mariah, on anything, Paul?
Sir, if I did, if I could, just to add, I'm pretty sure those same brothers that was mad, they probably celebrating 4th of July right now. The
Oh
same
yeah,
ones that was mad at General probably
yeah,
celebrating right now, sir.
yeah. God. You know, man, you're right. They definitely, man. Can you give me the stats on the people with hands being blown up? Or let me. But Shop put out a post the other day, and it was X-ray of people's hands being blown up.
You said the stats of people hands being broken.
Yeah, blown up from the fireworks.
Oh, blown up. Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Because that's what happens. But that's all. Even when I was a kid, like man, like the Lord said, He sent demons out there to have our hands get blown up, celebrating that mess. You know, man. You know what I mean? If you could find an article on it. Like to play with, like, how you gonna here's the thing I don't get. How you gonna set off fireworks with fire in front of children and then tell children don't play with matches? You know what I mean? Like right now I'm hearing fireworks outside my window. Believe it or not. Right now. You know? It's ridiculous.
Oh, God, sir, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's almost noon and somebody setting off fireworks. Like that was probably like $20 worth that went up in a couple of seconds. Black people definitely have money on 4th of July. You know what I mean? They know how to find that money to celebrate the fireworks being blown up. You ain't find anything?
So like I said, I got the story of a brother's hand being blown off, and I do got some statistics from 2020 if you want those.
Give me the 2020. The same thing gonna happen this year, if not more. You know.
So you want the 2020 first, and then you want the
yeah.
incident.
Yeah, we can chime in on that.
Sir. If I may. The CPSC estimated 3,100 injuries from June 21st, 2020. 2,000 of the injuries were burns, while 400 were reported fractures and sprains. 200 were contentions or lacerations, and 600 were other diagnostics.
Right, man.
Right,
and it said fractures and sprains.
Of the brother who got his hand blown off. If you want that, sir.
Yeah, but that's crazy. And listen, that ain't no different than them doing Hajj over there in Mecca. How a lot of them be getting hurt from the rocks being thrown at those pillars.
Oh, you got it, iPod or
Allah, sir.
I got it right here. Florida man hand gets blown off by fireworks. July 4th, 2022, 12:34 a.m. Broward Sheriff's Office deputies received a call regarding an incident involving fireworks just after 1 a.m. in Lauderdale Lakes, Florida on Saturday, according to Fox 35 Orlando. When Broward Sheriff Fire Rescue responded to the incident, according to the report, the man as well as his hand were taken to an area hospital. Like I said, meaning him and his hand was separate.
You explain that to the people. I understand that. What would they call it?
You went out, sir.
Oh, okay. All right. And when this happened, Saturday, right?
Last night, sir.
Damn. That's crazy. It blew his hand off. Blew his hand clean off. That's crazy. It's madness, man. All right. Anything else? Anybody got something to bring out?
Last, sir.
All right. That's crazy. Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down. You throw some music on. All right. Hey, Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barakatah, Shalom, Shema Alatah Ba'Shem Yahushua. Tonight, definitely scripture breakdown and Black Watch News with Commander General Yahanna. Hey, Shalom, Israel. Hey, don't be around them nuts with that firework, man. Y'all stay in and pick yourself a good meal, chill on out, and just, stay safe. Hey, Shalom, Israel.
Okay, sir. Turn on right now, sir.
Warrior with the hands, that's what I'm all about. Hunger in my eyes, vengeance in my mouth. They don't want no altercation. Situation gon' get critical. It's best that you be easy. The end gon' be biblical. Look, flow like a river. It's something like a miracle. Royalty in my veins, loyalty in my ways. Pay back in every breath, plus revenge in my heart. The truth in every word. Bring light into the dark, and I ain't never lukewarm. Shit, I blazing in the season. Got plenty food for thought. Just gotta watch who I'm feeding. And I've been walking with them angels, so I guess I got this pistol for no reason. Niggas barely breathing, criticizing all my achievements. Won't make me weak, nah, it won't make me slack off. These niggas baby fat soft, better bear witness or back off. I be ripping shit like sackcloth. Dumb dogs all barked out. Behind me say I cut full, no room for emotion, so I pour my heart out. This road hard, but I intend to stay. And if it ain't UPK, then they in the way. My niggas righteous, they real, they down to something. Flow so deep, to drown a motherfucker. He say he in the truth, oh yeah? Bro, this the home. And I don't hate them brothers, I'm just too loyal to my own. Plus what they believe, hard for me to follow. No rank me, no head, and I ain't leaving this body to live and sleep in hollow. So when they ask I'm UPK, you tell them absolutely. And I ain't trimming my ways for nothing. Gotta execute me, cause I can never die with my tail tucked between my legs. Shit I be thinking, watching my daughters tucked in their bed. They so smart, and Alana, she so beautiful, but they ain't like other babies, and they daddy far from usual. Now I'm missing cause I'm about my father's business. It ain't about this shit I used to do in that 98 Navy, the tan leather seats. See, without wisdom, this world make you weak. I found out that the truth was bitter, the lies are sweet. Tried everything,
I guess me and Johanna had to meet. Now I make the blind see, and I make the dead speak, and teach both my little girls the day that they lie with a man, they better bring their bloody band sheets. Chaos match the time. This Glock match my handpiece, and I ain't trying to take him out, but I will defend this house or take a check. 144 in that black trench on some hitman shit. Should call me 47. Praying for Armageddon. Me and my soldiers dressed for the wedding. Fuck the fame. Ask why, tell them I'm loyal to the king. Until the righteous reign. Loyal to the king. I want that straight lane to break the chain. Loyal to the king. The devils can't have me, bitch. I'm loyal to the king.